welcome back. That's the PPE collected of Gordon. Real gentleman. Very, very busy. But not just trying to find PPE, but also distributing it. So he gave me some really nice bits and pieces for this nursing home in Letterkenny. Some very, very high quality face masks, and coveralls, and some of these things are literally like hen's teeth at the moment. So slightly different route back up to Letterkenny. Really enjoyed the way down. Weather's been keeping up nicely, no rain, it's a big thing. So now I am on my way to Strabane from Enniskillen. Not an overly exciting stretch of road this, but oh well, that will do. It's just nice to be out. Doesn't matter where you go, what road you're on around here, the scenery is just absolutely beautiful. Front brake is squealing like mad. I'd say the brake pads are the original brake pads from back in 2013, so they must have dried up or hardened or whatever, because the bike's only done 6,850 miles now, so I can't see that they would actually be worn, because maybe unless you're a hooligan, but tire pressures are down a little bit. I've got 2 bar at the front and 2.4 at the rear, but I just started thinking I don't really mind that at the moment with these old tires on. Maybe that compensates a little bit for the fact that the rubber would have been has hardened quite a bit. The rubber wouldn't be as soft as you would expect it to be, so maybe compensating a little bit for that now. Slightly less air in the actual tires themselves. I'm not even fussed about going hard and overtaking that car in front of me, because I'm just enjoying being out on the bike so much that I don't want it to be over too quick. So just take my time. It's about 12 or 13 degrees at the moment. So temperature's just about nice. I actually put on my heated grips there about 20 minutes ago when it got really, really dark. So they're off again now. Lots of these 40 mile zones, so need to watch myself speed wise, I suppose. Although there's very, very little traffic. It's just, you know, people really are staying at home. What they're supposed to do, I suppose. But it's just really good to see. The odd runner or person out on the bike. Oh, just get around that one. Where are we going here? Oh, we're just staying on the right hand side. Okay, so yeah, people are definitely staying in. And whether it's the right tactic or not, I know a lot of people now are starting to compare ourselves with I don't know what this is. Are starting to compare ourselves with what's happening in Sweden. So Sweden has now about the same death rate per million as we have in Ireland, but of course no lockdown. Bars are open, restaurants are open, shops are open. They do social distancing, but there is no lockdown. So a lot of people are now asking questions as to, you know, was it worth the damage to the economy? It's hard to know, very, very hard to know. I don't think anybody will have the answer to that, because it's unprecedented. That's exactly what it is. So we'll just have to make the best of it. Hopefully in a couple of weeks time, 4th of May, 5th of May, we'll see some of our restrictions lifted here in Ireland. See our biker about. You know, technically we can't do this. We can be, well, I suppose in Northern Ireland it's slightly different, but in the Republic we're only allowed to exercise within 2 kilometers from our homes. And so what I'm doing here, if I wasn't doing it as a volunteer for bikers coming through, I wouldn't be able to do this on the bike at all, which is a real shame, because you know, as long as you keep to yourself, especially when you're wearing a helmet, you have a neck scarf that you can pull in front of your mouth when you have to stop for fuel or anything like that. You know, what harm can you do? But I suppose you need to legislate for the ones that don't seem to get it, that are still flocking to beaches, that still think that this is just all a long and extended holiday. Very, very difficult. You need a very disciplined population if you want to make this work without a lockdown, and I think when it comes to that, maybe the Irish government made the right decision. I think the Swedes are a little bit more disciplined. Don't have their lives in the pubs. I don't know. That's where I'm going. Nice road this as well. I've done this before. It's the Sekkinor Road. Sekkinor Road. Hello, biker. It's a bicyclist. So yeah, it's just been absolutely gorgeous to be out on the bike. Weather was alright. Oops, a pothole there. Don't get those potholes in New Zealand. I've never seen Tom and Kim, or Tom on his own, on a road full of potholes. Of course they're doing a bit of off-roading now, exploring the gravel. That's probably going to be that's on my bucket list. It's very high up on my bucket list now to go to New Zealand and travel on some of the roads that Tom and Kim show us in their videos. Just get out there, rent a bike, and watch out for all the tourists in the cars. But yeah, it's definitely on the list. I think I'd rather go to New Zealand than go to the States and do Route 66 or all that stuff that's been done so many times. So where are we? We're about probably about 60 kilometers from Letterkenny. It's windy. Wind picked up a little bit, but I think the microphone where it's positioned is okay, so you'll still be able to hear me. And cyclists, stop calling them bikers now. Around them. So yeah, Tom and Kim they're now putting out yoga videos and walks around Wanaka. Lovely, great to see, but such a pity, isn't it? Although they're going into their winter season now, I suppose, and we're coming out of our winter season and going into the summer season, so we'll have to start putting up some more videos to keep them entertained. I'm I'm never going to be a vlogger of the quality that Tom and Kim produce, or Richie Vita, or Teapot One, or Missing and Flyer, Lamp Job, all those guys, because I'm just going to stick to my one little camera. Maybe I'll start using my GoPro again as well to get some different viewing angles, but at the moment this is just really simple. Audio nicely integrated into the camera. Just switch it on and off. Maybe get some editing software or something so I can edit out some of my waffle. Turn off here. Ooh, I can hear the front brake squealing. Okay. Quick scratch. Ah, itchy nose. Yeah, my pin lock on my Schubert E1 is steaming up in one spot. The visor's very big, which is great because you know, you get a nice wide viewing angle out of the helmet, which I like. I don't like those sports helmets with narrow openings to look out. Gives me, I don't know, makes me feel a little bit claustrophobic. I like the adventure style helmet, not just that it, I suppose, suits the bike and stuff, but just Schubert with this helmet, it's potentially a great helmet, but the peak is very flimsy, very flimsy. It just vibrates like mad. Once you hit 50-60 mile an hour, 90 or 100 kilometers an hour, that peak just vibrates like mad. So I put some, somebody said they put on some, oh, just watch myself here, okay, that'll do. To put some weights on it. What do you call them? Wheel balancing weights, the little lead weights that you can stick on. So I did that, and that helped a little bit, although the person never said where to stick them, so maybe I stuck it in the wrong place. But anyway, the visor itself feels flimsy when you take it off the helmet. It bends very easily, and the pin lock is very easy to install. I remember with the HJC Arfa that I had, I mean, jeepers, you were worried you're going to crack the visor when you had to straighten it out a little bit to get the pin lock in. This thing here just so floppy, like, I mean, there was no problem at all getting the pin lock in, and I think because of that, in one place the pin lock just doesn't really make a good seal, and it's sort of just below my right eye, if that makes sense. So condensation starts to form there, and then it slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and inevitably at some stage you'll have to open the visor to get it clear. But I don't know why Schubert did that. Schubert makes really good helmets, and it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things, you know. What were they thinking? I paid a lot of money for this helmet, so I'm gonna give it a really good go, and I'm gonna wear it for at least a couple of thousand kilometers before I decide if I'm gonna stick with it or not. And then I have a problem as well with my eyes. Not really with my eyes itself, as in like vision. Okay, I have glasses at home. They're like plus 1.25 or something for reading, but and my other than that I can see absolutely fine. But I have these sort of overhanging eyelids, and it's a family thing. It runs in my family. My sister and my dad have it as well. And if your helmet sort of leans on your forehead a little bit, it makes it worse, which means with my right eye it sort of pushes my my eyelid down very far, so I don't have much room left to look out with my right eye, and it also at times nearly causes me some blurred vision in that eye, because I don't know, I suppose your eye is starting to focus either, you know, whatever is right in front of it, and my dad and my sister had surgery and had some extra skin removed, and that especially with my dad, who's well in his 70s now, it made a massive difference. So that is something I might have to look at, or maybe find a lighter helmet that maybe doesn't apply that much downward pressure. I must say today it hasn't bothered me at all, and I've literally only worn this helmet for a couple of 100 kilometers, I'd say 300 maybe kilometers. So I really need to give it a chance to bed in properly, and then if I'm happy enough with the final fit, then I'll address the vibration of the peak again, and have a spare pin lock. Maybe just take out this pin lock and just really thoroughly clean the inside of the visor again. Although it was supplied to me with the pin lock fitted, so I don't know. Like, I even feel a vibration, sorry about my on my arm in the picture, but I can even hear a little rattle now out of the peak vibrating with that peak. So I've seen several potential fixes for the peak on YouTube. So there's another one that I need to try, which is a little bit of padding between the visor and the peak and the top of the helmet. But you need to make sure, because this is a system helmet, that you don't obstruct the mechanism so that it can still flip up. So this is, sorry folks, this is not a very interesting road specifically, or this is just literally the main road, the A5, taking us out of Oma now onto Strabane. Clyde Mills first, and then Strabane, Lifford, and then into Letterkenny. But the reason I decided to take this route is because the nursing home is on a slightly different side of Letterkenny, and this route will actually take me more or less straight to where I need to be. I thought the sat-nav was going to take me a slightly different route, but you know what, doesn't matter. See quite a few people out cycling here. Okay. Okay, thank you. Still lush and green, which is kind of weird because there hasn't been any rain, any significant rain anyway now for, it must be 2 weeks. Yet a lot of these fields are still nice and green. Expecting a little bit of rain. It's a lot colder today. Yesterday was like a nice 17-18 degrees Celsius. Today it's more like 12 or 13. Depends if the sun finds its way through the clouds, or the clouds over again. It even looks like the road's slightly wet here. Had some dark clouds gathering this morning coming down, but stay dry, which is nice. The earplugs, every time I get on the road and you pick up the pace a little bit, I'm always thinking to myself, earplugs, need to get earplugs. And I do need to get earplugs. Bring them, but you know, with a good helmet when you're doing 60 mile an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, I don't really feel the need for earplugs. I kind of sort of quite like hearing what's going on around me, but yeah, once you're doing, you know, so once you go north of 60 mile an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, then I suppose earbuds wouldn't go amiss. Earbuds, even the disposable ones. Oh, that peak's driving me mental now. That's just ridiculous. Schubert, what have you done? And I don't think it's that little add-on screen, because I've tried, you know, different positions with that little screen, but I don't think it makes a difference. Right? If you're going to handbrake and pull in, overtake you. But anyway, just that peak's just way too flimsy. It just flaps about in the breeze. It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense at all how you would release something like that. But anyway, enough giving out about the Schubert E1. The RI Tour X4, I think the Michelin flyer is using one of those. Got a couple of helmets, but I know he has one of those as well. He likes it. It's just there's no RI dealers anywhere around me. I'll have to travel an hour and a half or 2 hours, I think, minimum, to the nearest dealer. But I'll just have to bite the bullet. It's actually comfortable. This Schubert, the fit now I'm talking about it and I'm riding along here, and you know, it is actually a comfortable fit since I changed the inners from a double XL to XL. I do feel that it's a more comfortable fit, so if I can get that peak to settle down and fix that steaming up the pin lock, like what's the point of having a pin lock visor that steams up on a day like this? It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a nice bit of road to you know, keep up the pace a little bit, let's say. So anybody has any suggestions, knows anybody with a Schubert E1 and how they dealt with that obnoxious vibrating of the peak, just let me know. Just put in a comment. And if you're watching this video, like I said, I'm not going to be a vlogger, a bread vlogger, but I do want to start you know, taking videos of my bike rides a little bit more, and hopefully get some interesting trips done. So feel free to share it. But there'll be warts and all, folks, so they'll not be nice and polished. I don't have Tom's Action Man good looks. I would, I suppose, take Lisa with me on the bike for the eye candy. We all know that that's why Tom brings Kim as well, because, you know, nobody really wants to see Tom. Get out of the way. These people are not frontline, and they're not, I don't see them being 100% sure. This is a really lazy overtake because I didn't really want to drop down a gear. 6 gear, just open the throttle, yeah, folks, if you enjoy these trip reports and you're into bikes, you want to see you know, footage from different countries, different parts of the world, a Brit, a blonde, and a bike, a Brit, a Brit, a blonde, and a bike. You'll find him on YouTube, you'll find him on Facebook as well. Wild Bath Touring, Richie Vida. You'll find him on YouTube and Facebook as well. Teapot 1, Bruce, now a full-time vlogger. And great decision, Bruce. Love your videos, and I wish you all the best. I hope it works out well for you. Lamb Chop Rides, Itchy Boots, Dutch girl traveling the world on her Royal Enfield Himalayan. She's in South America at the moment, worth a watch as well. And we've lots of time to watch all that stuff now. We're all at home. Who else? It's kind of like the top of the list. I also actually found myself watching the Let's Start videos. Not in relation to motorcycles, but to old vintage tractors and machinery in general, diggers, loaders, you know, stuff that's been left sitting in the forest for 15 or 20 or more years. And these guys go out with a toolkit and with an easy start and batteries, and they get these things running again. I find that very, very satisfying to watch. So yeah, and there's a channel as well on YouTube which I like, which is called Working with Wes, 3 W's, Working with Wes. He's in northern Illinois somewhere, and he fixes stuff. He fixes cars, tractors, lawnmowers, anything with engines. And he fixes them. He pulls out engines, puts new engines in. Really smart guy. Really like his videos as well. On this bike. So I think that's really going to be it for now, folks, because as you can see, the road's not overly exciting. Traveling at the speed I should be traveling at, but my speedo, yeah, that speedo is way optimistic. So is the sat nav. Once we get to Letterkenny, maybe top the bike up with some go-go juice, because I'm actually traveling on the fuel that I put in her probably in September or October of last year. Now it was nearly brimmed to the top, so there would have been very little room or opportunity for condensation and stuff to form. And I don't think with modern fuels that, you know, if it sits for 6 months it goes bad. I haven't noticed anything with the bike, to be honest. So, but yeah, it's nearly that time. Oh, it's left. So it's 12.5 degrees Celsius. 5+12. My average fuel consumption is 48.7 miles per gallon. I suppose it's not bad. I haven't really done any big long trips, or shortish kind of trips. 96 miles left in the tank, which is more than ample to get me home. So get some fuel when I get a little bit close to home. 2. Go home. Go home. There. I had it set for Strabane, which is where we are now. Like I said, so I wanted to come up the other way. Just open that visor, let that steam out. So this is not Strabane, by the way, this is Cyan Mills. Tire pressure just sort of stabilized. 2 bar at the front, 2.4 at the rear, and it should be 1 up, 2.2 and 2.5, I think. So I will address that when I get home. But like I said, with the current tires I have on, I don't think that makes so much of a difference. It's just myself and the bike. I have the panniers on the luggage, but there's no real weight in them. And there's nothing inside the meter, so except for that PPE stuff, but there's no weight in that. A bunch of masks and some coveralls. So, oh no, it's all good. It is all good. So, that was beautiful Cyan Mills. It'll take us into Strabane now, so folks, I'm going to switch off the camera. If you've managed to watch all of this, congratulations. Of course, it's just me faffing, talking rubbish, I suppose, to most of you, but anyway. I'm going to be home, I think, at about 1 PM. So what else would you want to be doing to spend half a Sunday? So thanks for watching, guys, and until we meet again, bye bye.